Good morning, everyone, and I want to talk today about sailing Croatia and what was my experience in the sailing world. I went, we more correctly, we went with Medsailors. We actually found it last second. We opted to go for the luxury yacht, I think, or like the most expensive that they had left, because basically for the dates that we were looking at, we basically missed the window of like the prime prices. And I think right now is the best time to book it because it's still far ahead, and I'm pretty sure there would be more options than what we had. So I think it's a pretty good time to make this video. And when I was researching and my boyfriend was researching for this trip, there weren't really much videos that are more recent. There are videos from like 4, 5, 6 years ago. And I feel that specifically for the company that I went to, there was absolutely no information. Nobody was like kind of talking about it. There was only like Google reviews and maybe some TikToks, and that's about it. Like, we didn't have much information, which from one part it's great because we went in it blindly and just like no expectations, no nothing. We just experienced it. From the other side, there were a lot of stuff that we would rather be prepared than be like, oh my god, we did not expect that. So that's why I'm making this video. Now, there's a few general stuff that I think could be connected to different companies. I think some of the stuff could be really useful for all the companies because they kind of operate on the same level, but a lot of stuff will be specific to Medsailors. That's the company that we choose to go with for this trip. So I hope you enjoy this video. You'll get some information that you need. And if you have any other questions, let me know down below, because I think this is such a cool experience that a lot of people think about doing, but they don't have all the information, or at least some of the information that they're looking for. And I hope it can help somebody to figure out if they actually want to do this or not. Okay, Sail Croatia. Now, this is a very popular thing, mainly among Aussies and Kiwis, from what I researched and from what I talked with the people who work for Medsailors. In general, I think majority of the companies are owned and their main base is in Australia or New Zealand, which is really interesting because these companies are made for and mainly target Aussies and Kiwis to help them travel and see other possibilities of traveling when they go to Europe. That's from my understanding. I can be wrong, but I think it's awesome that companies like that. Obviously, you can be any nationality and go on this trip, but majority of, from what I content creators that I saw, was Aussies and Kiwis. Is that how you say Kiwi for a New Zealand? Right. I hope so. I really did not research that enough. The company that we went to was Medsailors. First of all, it was we were looking for more of a sailing experience, as in not a boat. We did a little bit of research and we realized that sailing Croatia was more like a boat, crazy party boat, a lot of young people that are drinking 24/7 and having fun, which is nothing wrong with that. I honestly would do that if I had the opportunity, but it wasn't something that as a couple we were looking for. And when we looked at the accommodations and when we compared sailing Croatia and Medsailors, the Medsailors offered more privacy and better accommodations compared to the price of Medsailors. This brings me into pricing. This trip, specifically this part of sailing, was pretty expensive because, again, we decided to book it pretty late and it was kind of booking on a whim. We wanted to see what it's like to sail, so we decided to do that, and was one of the reasons. When we were booking, we booked the more expensive boat. We booked a luxury yacht, a luxury sail yacht, I don't know, which is supposed to be bigger than the regular one. And we also, it was the second most expensive because the catamaran was the most expensive. Now, eventually, when we got to the sailing, we went, when we meet up with our people and our guides and the skippers, they told us the name of the boat, and we decided to go look for the boat. And walking around looking for like that little, what do you call them, flags to look for specific like boat that we were on, definitely was a nice surprise that we were upgraded. So, and here's a little tip: if you want to get upgraded, and I can guarantee that it will happen all the time, mostly from what I was explained, that people who get upgraded are the people that books in groups. So we ended up being, me and my boyfriend, we were like a group, and there was a group of 3 siblings from a group, so that's why they upgraded us to a catamaran, which was really nice, and in retrospect I think helped a lot from everything that happened on that trip. On a regular boat it would be a little more cramped, but about space we'll go a little bit later. So yeah, that's one of the nice things that happened, that we got upgraded, and I'm so grateful because it was such a nice experience to have on a catamaran. That was our like ideal thing that we wanted to do, but because the catamaran was fully booked and we just wanted to sail, so we just took whatever happened. So happens for the best. The experience is definitely so fun. I think it was so worth it. One of the best things that I think we did was the route that we took. The route was from Split to Dubrovnik, and on the way we went through like all the main points. I think we went to Hvar, we went to Mijet Island, and we went to multiple different cool little like small islands. If you don't know, Dubrovnik is where Game of Thrones was filmed. I literally had no excitement about it because I never watched Game of Thrones, so I didn't really care for that. But a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people really were excited about it. So if that's something that you really interested in, might be also a reason to go there. I think our route was really nice because we continue to like travel. But if you don't feel like that, you can do just like a round trip, and it brings you back to your starting destination. Now, our company, Medsailors, they also have routes in different areas of that like area. They have in Greece, they have in Turkey, I think. They have in Italy, and they used to have in Montenegro. Yeah, so if that's something that you're interested, they also have different routes. I think that this way of traveling is really nice because you get to see everything. Not everything, but you get to see a lot of different destinations that unusual trips you wouldn't do. Great people. Now, I put a question mark on great people because I think it's very situational. For example, our like was really good because we found a lot of stuff in common, and then like the whole, I don't know how you call it, like a lot of boats at once, but like our whole like I think we were like 4 boats traveling. Those people were great, the skippers were great, everything was really good. So I think it's very situational, but in general I would say the skippers and the people that we had were really good and we really enjoyed it. So now let's talk about the negatives that I think a lot of people, especially like I, didn't really think of when we start traveling and actually doing the trip. It gets pricey really fast, really, like, you don't realize how much actually is not covered by the trip. And granted, we went into it knowing that like we'll have to cover some stuff, but I didn't realize how much of it. So on the boat we get breakfast and lunch, which the food was okay. The skippers are making food for us, so it was great. They have a set menu that you can choose beforehand what you want, if it's like specific dietary restrictions or anything, yeah. But dinners, we would usually go eat dinner at like the place we stopped at, and usually it would be like a picked out dinner that like a place that company chooses. And I don't know how much it actually was like budget friendly. It was pretty expensive. Every time we had dinner like on the boat, it was off the boat, it was expensive. And then when we went to different locations to like have fun, quote unquote, you had to pay for everything because almost nothing was included except like the boat and the food, which understandable. But at some point, me and my boyfriend were talking and we're like, oh, we would rather pay a little more when like have a more luxury experience. Then again, that wasn't what we booked. So I think this understanding of like you're gonna have extra expenses, and I'm talking in the expenses of like, if the trip I think cost us like $1,700, like just to book the boat. not including like flights or anything, just the boat and the meals. And then on top, every dinner, because we're 2 people, so it's like around 100 euros, 100 like 80 euros every evening. And then if you want to do attractions, then it's like another 50 euros. And if you both want to like buy alcohol and snacks, another, like whatever, how much you spend money. What's nice about Medsailors that they allow alcohol, like you bring on alcohol on boat. I know some companies don't allow it, so I think that's a good like thing for people who want to bring in alcohol for cheaper. That's one thing about Medsailors. I know most other companies don't let you do that, so I think that could be a pro. It can get old. Honestly, after 6 nights and 7 days, I got tired of being on the boat. I was kind of on the 5th day, I was like, okay, we can go back. But I think it's just because I wasn't used to such a long travels and I like being on land. So if you're more of a like shorter period of traveler, I would say try look for a shorter like routes. I think there is like 5 days, 4 nights routes in different companies. But yeah, that's one of the, it gets, at least for me, it got pretty old and I got pretty tired of it. And that leads, the reason that I got pretty old and pretty tired, small places. The boats, like the little rooms that you get on the boat, are so small that at some point you get claustrophobic and there's no AC. There's little like air ventilations, but they're also like some not really working like air spinners. And it was just getting like really tight, really small. You get seasick at some point. So I think that's one of the reasons that I was kind of like, let's get over with this. So I think that summarizes pretty much my not entire, but like very good points of my trip. And if you have any questions, let me know. I can answer them for sure. I didn't really include prices because again, prices are vary from company to company, from boat to boat. So you can start from like 700 euros up to, I think it was 2,500 euros. I don't know how much is it in dollars, but you can convert it. And also, if you're interested in more, like I said, more luxury experience, Medsailors is part of a group of like charter company that you can look into more expensive and extravagant experience if that's what you're looking for. Now, I would say Medsailors is more on the chill / party more. Like I would say it's like more chill than party. If you're looking for more party, less chill, from what I know, from what I talked with people, it was Sailing Croatia is the more party boat. But I think if you're like older and you're on a solo trip and you're like, I'd say between 25 to like, I think there were like a guy who was like 37 on the boat with us. Definitely go for Medsailors. It's more chill. I know there was a girl that said that she did it 3 times and she enjoys it every time. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I will happily and gladly would answer them for you. And I hope you keep having a great day. And I will link Medsailors like in the description if anybody interested. I'm not affiliated with them at any point. It's just my opinion. And yeah, I hope you have a great time and you'll have a great winter and will be more informed about this type of traveling. And I hope everybody's having a great day.